The sun rose high over the bustling town of Red River, casting a warm glow on the colorful flags and bunting strung across Main Street. It was a day of celebration, marked by the joyful sounds of laughter and music filling the air. Townsfolk gathered in their finest clothes, excited for the grand wedding of Clara and Jake, two beloved figures in the community. The aroma of baked goods wafted from nearby stalls, where vendors sold pies and sweet treats in honor of the special occasion. As the festival atmosphere buzzed with energy, children darted around, playing games while parents chatted animatedly about the upcoming nuptials. Clara's family had transformed the town square into a picturesque scene, complete with flowers in every hue and a beautifully decorated arch where the couple would exchange vows. The townspeople eagerly anticipated not just a wedding, but an event that would be talked about for years to come. But beneath the cheerful exterior, a hint of tension lingered in the air. Whispers drifted through the crowd about recent troubles with wild horses roaming the plains nearby. As guests found their places, excitement mixed with a sense of uncertainty. Would this special day go off without a hitch? For Clara and Jake, this was more than just a wedding, it was the beginning of their life together. Little did they know, adventure awaited them in the most unexpected way. Clara was a radiant bride, her smile lighting up the town square. Dressed in a flowing white gown adorned with delicate lace, she looked every bit the princess on her special day. With her long, dark hair elegantly swept back and a sprinkle of wildflowers in her bouquet, she radiated joy and excitement. Clara had always dreamed of this moment, and she was ready to say, "I do," to the love of her life. Jake, her groom, stood proudly beside her. He was strong and handsome, wearing a crisp cowboy suit that showed off his rugged charm. A gentle, reassuring hand on Clara's back revealed Jake's unwavering support for her. He was not just her fiancé, he was her best friend and confidant. With dreams of building a life together, he could hardly wait for the moment when they would officially become husband and wife. Then there was Sam, the stage driver, a seasoned man known for his quick reflexes and deep sense of honor. With a wide-brimmed hat shadowing his weathered face, he had seen many events unfold in Red River. His trusty team of horses was always in tune with him, but today, he felt an unusual tension in the air. As he prepared for the day's festivities, he couldn't shake the feeling that something unexpected might happen. Little did he know how important his role would soon become in the drama that awaited them all. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the atmosphere in Red River turned electric with excitement. Families and friends gathered in the town square, their laughter ringing out like cheerful bells. Musicians played lively tunes, inviting everyone to dance and celebrate love. Colorful decorations adorned every corner, while delicious aromas wafted from food stalls, where pies and barbecue sizzled enticingly. Bright flowers framed the archway where Clara and Jake would exchange vows, setting a perfect scene for their union. Amidst this joyful celebration, however, an undercurrent of tension simmered just beneath the surface. While many guests were caught up in the festivities, a few concerned whispers floated through the crowd about the wild horses that had been spotted nearby. Some townsfolk exchanged nervous glances as they recalled past stampedes that had wreaked havoc during other events. Clara remained blissfully unaware of any trouble as she practiced her vows with Jake, who made her laugh and relax amidst all the commotion. Sam moved about nervously, adjusting his hat while watching groups of people pass by with smiles plastered on their faces. He felt a knot tightening in his stomach, a sense of foreboding that something unusual was on the horizon. Despite these worries, Clara and Jake's joy radiated throughout the town square as they prepared to embark on their new life together. Everyone around them could feel it, love hung in the air like magic, unaware of any impending storm that might disrupt this beautiful day. Just as the joyful festivities reached their peak, a thunderous noise disrupted the laughter and music. The ground trembled as a large herd of wild horses burst onto the scene, their hooves pounding like a drum. Dust flew up into the air, and panic erupted among the guests. In an instant, excitement turned to chaos as people began to scream and scatter in all directions, seeking safety from the stampede. Clara's heart raced as she realized what was happening. She stood frozen for a moment, her wedding gown billowing in the wind like a flag. Jake's protective instincts kicked in as he rushed to her side, grabbing her hand and urging her to find shelter. The once picturesque scene transformed into a whirlwind of confusion, with townsfolk shouting and trying to regain control over the madness unfolding before them. Sam, the stage driver, quickly assessed the situation. His experience told him that staying calm was crucial. With a determined look, he shouted for everyone to move toward the nearby buildings, an attempt to corral folks away from the path of the stampede. Meanwhile, he glanced at Clara and Jake, who were struggling to protect each other in the midst of the chaos. Horses raced past them, their manes flying and eyes wide with fear. It was a sight that would be remembered for years to come, a wild moment that turned a day meant for love into a fight for safety. All anyone could hope for was that they would emerge from this turmoil unharmed. In the midst of the chaos, Sam's instincts kicked in, and he sprang into action. Spotting Clara standing frozen in fear, he dashed through the swirling dust and frantic crowd. His heart raced not just with adrenaline but also with a fierce determination to protect the bride on her special day. "Clara! Over here," he shouted, his voice cutting through the noise as he approached her. He could see Jake trying to shield her, but they were both at risk of being caught in the stampede. With one powerful grasp, Sam took Clara's arm and gently but firmly pulled her away from the chaos. "Trust me," he urged, leading her toward a sturdy building nearby. Just as they reached it, a wild horse thundered past them, narrowly missing Clara's gown. The sheer force of the creature's rush sent a gust of wind that nearly knocked Sam off balance. With his heart pounding, Sam glanced back at Jake, who was still trying to usher their friends to safety. "Get inside now," he yelled, ensuring Clara was safely sheltered from danger. The moment felt surreal. Sam was just a stage driver and yet, today he became a hero. As Clara caught her breath inside the building, she couldn't help but feel grateful for Sam's bravery. In that split second of fear and chaos, he had shown the courage needed to keep her safe. It was an act of valor that would echo in everyone's memories long after the dust settled. As the stampede roared through the town square, Jake's heart sank with each thunderous hoofbeat. Fear gripped him as he realized Clara was still in the path of danger. Desperation surged within him. He had to act quickly. The love he felt for her ignited a fierce determination that pushed him to fight through the chaos. "Clara!" Jake shouted, scanning the crowd for a glimpse of his bride. Panic bubbled inside him as he watched people flee in all directions, and instinct kicked in. He felt a primal urge to protect her from harm, and with courage steering him, he charged toward where he last saw her. The sight of Sam pulling Clara away sent a wave of relief washing over him. However, he couldn't just stand by. Fueled by love and worry, Jake rallied his friends, urging them to grab whatever they could find, pistols and rifles, determined to scare off the wild horses. "We need to show them we are not afraid," he cried, his voice ringing out amidst the turmoil. With a loud rallying cry, Jake's posse began firing shots into the air. Each bang echoed like a heartbeat, a desperate message that they would not let love be overtaken by fear. Though reckless, it was his way of expressing unwavering devotion and protecting what mattered most. Through every moment of anxiety and fear, Jake knew one thing: he would do anything to keep Clara safe on their wedding day. As Jake rallied his friends, the atmosphere shifted from panic to purpose. His posse, a close-knit group of loyal companions who had stood by him through thick and thin, felt the urgency in his voice. Without hesitation, they sprang into action, determined to support their friend and protect Clara at all costs. "Grab your guns!" Jake shouted, and in an instant, they were armed and ready. Each man understood the stakes. This was about more than just stopping a stampede. It was about showing unwavering devotion to the bride they all loved like family. The groom's friends positioned themselves around Jake, forming a protective circle as they prepared to face the oncoming chaos. With hearts racing, they raised their weapons high and let out a collective battle cry. The first shots rang out into the air, echoing through the town square like thunder. Each bang sent shockwaves through the crowd and momentarily startled the wild horses. It was a desperate attempt, but in their minds, it signified strength and courage, a declaration that nothing would stand in the way of love. Jake's friends fired again and again, creating a cacophony that blended with the sounds of fear and confusion surrounding them. They hoped that the loud noise would not only scare off the horses but also reassure Clara that her safety mattered above all else. In that moment of camaraderie and fierce loyalty, Jake's posse transformed into a united front, fighting for love amidst chaos on a day meant for happiness. In the midst of the chaos, a whirlwind of emotions enveloped the crowd. Fear gripped the hearts of many as they witnessed the stampede barreling toward them, hooves pounding like a war drum. Screams filled the air, mixing with the frantic shouts of Jake and his friends. People stumbled over one another, caught between their instinct to flee and their desire to help those around them. Amidst the panic, love shone through in unexpected ways. Clara, still shaken but grateful for Sam's protection, felt a surge of admiration for her groom as she saw him courageously rally his friends. Jake's unwavering determination to keep her safe ignited a warmth within her that contrasted sharply with the surrounding chaos. She knew he would do anything for her, and that thought offered her a flicker of comfort in an otherwise terrifying moment. Confusion reigned as some guests struggled to comprehend what was happening. Parents called for their children, while others frantically searched for familiar faces in the crowd. The collective anxiety created an atmosphere thick with uncertainty. Would anyone be hurt? Could Clara and Jake's special day be saved? Yet, amid this emotional turmoil, there was also a sense of unity that began to take hold. Strangers banded together as they shared glances of understanding and concern. In this moment, it became clear that love and bravery could flourish even amid fear, a bond forged through shared experience that would be remembered long after the dust settled. After what felt like an eternity of fear and chaos, the wild horses began to slow down, their initial panic dissipating as they veered off toward the outskirts of town. The sound of their pounding hooves faded, leaving only echoes of tension hanging in the air. Slowly, murmurs replaced the chaotic shouts, and the townsfolk began to collect themselves, shaking off the shock of what had just unfolded. Clara and Jake emerged from the building where they had taken shelter, still breathless but relieved to find themselves unhurt. Around them, people began to check on one another, aiding those who had stumbled or fallen in the frenzy. Laughter mixed with tears as parents embraced their children tightly, thankful for their safety. Sam stepped forward from the crowd, his weathered face reflecting both concern and relief. "Is everyone okay?" he asked with a steadiness that calmed those nearby. Heads nodded slowly, though shaken, no one had suffered serious injuries. A collective sigh of relief washed over the group. As Clara looked into Jake's eyes, she could see gratitude and love shining brightly within him. In that moment of quiet after the storm, it became clear that their bond had only deepened through this shared experience. The festival atmosphere began to re-emerge, people picked up decorations and hugged each other with renewed appreciation for life's fleeting moments. While Clara and Jake's wedding day hadn't gone as planned, it transformed into a testament to resilience, and through it all, they would remember how love triumphed over fear, forever marking this day in their hearts as a symbol of true devotion. In the aftermath of the day's chaos, Clara and Jake found themselves reflecting on what had transpired. As they sat together, still wrapped in each other's arms, they began to share their thoughts about love and bravery in a way they had never considered before. For Clara, love had always been about romance and companionship, but now she recognized it as an active force, one that propelled Jake into action when she needed him most. His courage in the face of danger reshaped her understanding of devotion. Jake, on the other hand, saw bravery in a new light too. Before the stampede, he thought heroism was defined by grand gestures or flashy acts. However, witnessing Sam's quick thinking and seeing how the community came together made him realize that bravery could also be quiet and steadfast. It was about showing up for someone you loved, even when chaos threatened to pull everything apart. The experience forged an unbreakable bond between Clara and Jake, but it also deepened their appreciation for the people around them. They realized that in times of turmoil, love couldn't just exist, it had to be acted upon. The shared fear and relief they experienced turned into gratitude, not only for each other but for their friends and family who stood by them. As they moved forward, their wedding transformed into a symbol of resilience, teaching them that chaos could bring people closer together, fostering love that was not just felt but actively demonstrated through actions in moments of crisis.